Hey, this your girl 3D Nazi, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
Dead swing in the morning, back in the hood by the evening. Even when I met Steven, had pistols under the seating. Y'all did it for fame, I did it for different reasons.
Yes, sir. We right back at it, y'all. We got a special one coming at y'all. We got 3D Nazi jumping off the porch with us today. What's up with it?
Know that. I am excited to be here.
Word.
I told you that. Like, I'm not just saying that as a formality.
Yeah.
I enjoy the thought of being here. I was like, I'm looking at the space, everything. I was excited to meet you.
Nah, that's what's up. Nah, likewise, for sure. And I know when I hit you up online, you know, it was dope because I was like seeing you, you know, you moved out of your homes, you sold your homes, you bought this van and decided to live on the road.
Yeah.
And within that, you're like giving opportunities like while you're traveling, you know, across the country.
Yeah.
First of all, what made you decide to use your platform and to be a vessel for other people?
First of all, because I understand that I am a vessel, and I have been. And for a long time, I was kind of like pushing that aside. You know what I mean? I had 3 homes in New Orleans, right? And I had, you know, rental properties and stuff like that. And there was a point in time when I realized that I wasn't utilizing what I had in a way that I needed to. You know what I'm saying? I had excess. It was excessive.
Yeah.
The things that I had. And I was able to understand that the way that I was like giving of myself, I wasn't maximizing. There's a lot of shit. I had a 4-bedroom home, a sauna and gym and all this type of shit, off independent, like independent rep, right?
Yeah.
And I had all these things, but I wasn't utilizing it in the way that I needed to. And I was giving myself to people, places, and things that didn't really give back to me. So I just had to change. Like, I had to change my life.
Wow. And, you know, you said how you said it, like you achieved these things, you know, being an independent,
Yeah.
being an independent artist. I think, you know, 2 of the themes like of our conversation, you know, I feel like are going to be, you know, independent in a major way.
Yeah,
Because that's how,
that's a
you know,
fact.
you've always moved. And then also, you know, being unconventional.
Yeah.
Being willing to do things and like kind of step outside the box. You know, achieving these things, acquiring these things, these material things that so many of us dream to have, especially coming from these environments that we come from. What made you want to part ways with some of these material things? Because so many of us live our whole lives striving to gain some of these things that you were able to gain.
Yeah, honestly, we gonna get into some whole other shit if we go there, but like, I realized that, okay, so during COVID, right? During COVID, my whole life changed. I was in this space where I had everything, but I felt nothing, right? So when I started to feel again, when I started to feel shit again, I was like, all right, I always pour into everybody else, so what does it feel like to pour into me? And what it felt like was I was in a relationship at the time, or not at the time, but prior to buying my house, I ended up, you know, I ended a relationship. When I ended that relationship, he owned a house, had these certain things that were like, I don't know how to say it, but it was like benchmarkers, right?
Okay.
For success. And when that relationship ended, I didn't know what success felt like or what it looked like for me. So I started to grab at certain things that I thought would make me feel good. So I bought a house, then I bought another one, then I bought another one, you know? So I did certain things that made me feel like I was successful.
Yeah.
And then I woke up one day and I realized that none of that shit was truly me. It was what I thought, you know, I was trying to build this idea, and I really didn't know myself. So because of that, I started to look around me and I started to strip things away to see who I really am. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. It's interesting because, like, you know, coming from these environments that we come from, these material things, I mean, we look to these things like they're God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then it's interesting, like, when you get them, when you achieve them, I mean, like, I've got like over 100-some pair of shoes, but probably only wear about 4 or 5 out of them. You know what I mean? Because I aspired to be able to look in a closet and any day of the week pick any shoe, but then now it's like, let me just rock them. You know what I mean? Because they're comfortable. And that's what I, you know, so it's
but see what you said? Like, you have these certain qualities of this thing. Like, all right, let me fuck with this because this feels good to me.
Yep.
So I started to look at what felt good to me.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Because that's when, I mean, because that's really the most important thing, but we don't put that in, you know, as the most important, you know, at first. So, what was it like switching over to a minimalist lifestyle? I mean, especially after having, you know, so many things.
Well,
and, you know,
see, now we're going to get into a whole different conversation because I also, whoa, how the fuck we gonna get here? All right, so during this time, right, I met a woman.
Okay, I see where we're going.
Shit, you hear it here first on a motherfucking porch. But I met a woman who was living that lifestyle. I had never been with a woman before.
Okay.
This was like 2022, right?
So
I had never, 2020. Let's be real. But no, so she was like van life and all of this stuff. At the same time, we met and totally, like, at the core, we are the same. However, like, what we were doing in life, completely opposite, right?
Got you.
So I had a studio. I had built something similar to this, actually. That's why I love this space. But had a studio, like businesses and all of that type of stuff. And I realized that I wasn't really fulfilled. I wasn't fulfilling myself in the way that, like, I'm always pouring into somebody else. And I just had to question, like, what makes me, right? So I went on a trip. She was doing like this cross-country road trip, and I went on a cross-country road trip, and that was amazing. And I was like, damn, that's kind of why we connect the way that we connect, because this is who I am, and I was able to access myself the way that I, you know, who I am. So that was inspiring, you know. And then I wanted to, these properties that I had, I wanted to do certain things with them in New Orleans, and I was like, I don't know if New Orleans ready for what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So I just had to prioritize myself, and that's what I'm on right now. I'm prioritizing myself, and the crazy thing is, because I have been prioritizing myself, I see that I am a vessel for real, because when I started to focus on myself, I realized how I've been uplifting everybody else.
Word.
You know what I mean?
And that's dope, because most of the time people say, I need to focus on myself because I need to make sure that I'm better, that I'm good, that I'm in a better space. But to hear you say you had to focus on yourself to then open up, you know, that part of you that could, you know, share opportunities and things like that. That's dope.
Because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be. Like, I wasn't doing what I'm here to do. I could rap my ass off. You know what I'm saying? That it's not about that. I've written songs for other people, but that's still not maximizing my talent. That's still not what I'm supposed to be here for. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm finally getting into what I'm here for, which is to uplift. You know what I'm saying? Word. And I ain't that spiritual. Like, don't get it fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that spirit. I'm not in that place where I'm like frequent. No, I'm not there.
So you ain't snapping the finger.
Nah, I ain't doing that. But I just understand that when people see me and when they fuck with me and they tell me, like, when they get to see me, they tell me how I have given them something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. And I just want to do more of that.
I think that people have like this idea of what like spirituality is supposed to look like, or
Yeah.
what package that's supposed to come in,
Yeah.
but there isn't one. You know what I mean? And I think like, you know, we even almost like hold people holier than thou if we feel like they're, you know, claim to be in that spiritual realm or whatever.
No,
but
check this out. I'm a felon. I used to sell crack. You know what I'm saying? Like real off the porch for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not in a place where I'm like distancing myself from the experiences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I lived all of those experiences, and thank the Most High, I'm able to choose which one I want now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wow. No, I could dig it. Let's get into some of your history.
Okay.
Like, definitely want to, you know, learn more about, you know, Third Ward, Uptown, where you from.
You said
know,
that real hard.
the Uptown
Third
Butterfly.
Ward.
I think that's the part of me that used to live in Cali. But nah, you know, what was it like for you growing up though? Like, what was your lifestyle coming up?
Oh, so I always try to start from the very beginning so I can pay like a true respect to my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mother and my father, my father was super smart, right? And my mother, the streets, hustle, all of those things, and I feel like I got like a healthy balance of the two. However, they both decided that with those gifts, they would start selling drugs, right? So I am the oldest of three, and because of that, I've seen a lot of things. I saw like the transition from both of them. Like when I was young, we had bearskin rugs and, you know, the money and the, you know, the everything that you can imagine. I remember having I had bunk beds, and my room, it was like Richie Rich for real. They had a lot of money and they were in the streets. But then that went downhill. They started to use their own supply, you know what I'm saying? And then my brothers came along, and I was constantly trying to tell my brothers, like, no, this is like, you gotta respect them, but they didn't have the same mother and father that I had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my experiences, it's sort of like living in this world that's like, you trying to tell people like, no, it was like this. Like the whole time me growing up, I'm like, no, I remember this. And it's like this fucking Mandela effect or something, right?
I got what you said, yeah.
Yeah. So because of that, I felt like at a certain point of time, I kind of gave in to it. And I'm like, well, this is life now. You know what I'm saying? This is life. When I was 10 years old, my daddy committed suicide. My mama was still using, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, fuck, I'm seeing all the money that we used to have is going to these people that they used to be, but now they selling, you know.
Right.
So then I started selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? Because it was just, I just gave in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I realized that, you know, I grew up in a third world, like you say, but I grew up in a third world. So I'm seeing Soldier Slim. I'm seeing fucking KLC. I'm seeing people on the block, because I grew up on Delachey Street, but the Parkway is where all the, like Master P, everybody used to pull up and shit. So I'm seeing all these people, and I know I have this specific talent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my reality is, this is how you get money. Because they had money, then the money went, and the common denominator was drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my life wasn't I made the most of it.
Yeah.
I made the most of it.
Do you feel like you had to grow up fast?
Fucking right I did. Fucking right. I'm catching up right now, to be honest. That's part of the reason why, like, you know, we spoke about me moving in a van and all of that, like, because a lot of times I remember just like being in a space where I'm like, why the fuck am I going through this right now in this moment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm moving slower these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am in a space where I'm trying to feel for real.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
can dig that. Yeah, because sometimes you almost have to, or you don't even know that you're numbing yourself,
Yeah.
to all the pain.
Numb as a bitch. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I ain't feel shit for a long time. And that has influenced the way that I treated myself,
Yeah.
the way that I treated people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, nah, they don't fuck with me. They don't, you know what I'm saying? So the survival mode, you know what I mean? My mind state was not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this time, where were you finding your influences when it came to music and being a creative and things like that? Like, were these interests coming early, or were you so busy in survival mode that it wasn't even
That was my escape. So the influence was the fact that that was the only place that I could exist and really be myself, was making music. You know what I'm saying? So outside of like looking at what was going on around me and understanding my reality, I knew that in my music, I can create my reality. And if I stay diligent, if I stay focused, then that can really become true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That reality could really become true.
Yeah, word. That's what's
Yeah.
up. And who were some of your influences when you?
The streets, outside. Outside.
Yeah.
Outside. I love Lauryn Hill. I love certain artists who were able to bear themselves, but they didn't really influence me in that way because they were speaking about realities that ain't really touched me for real. When I went outside and I saw, or say for instance, I told you my daddy committed suicide, 10 years old. My mama was in this space where she was using, and I understand it now, I get it now, and I love my mama, but there was times where she would go missing for days, so I'm the oldest, so I'm taking care of the household. So my influence was me going outside and saying, fuck no, I can't be like this shit. I can't live like this forever. That was my influence. Yeah. I didn't turn on the radio and hear somebody that made life sweeter for me. My mind made life sweeter. I was like, shit, I know that elsewhere could be a better life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. New Orleans has such rich culture.
Yeah.
What would you say is one of your favorite things about being from New Orleans?
The way we embrace life. Of course, people say, why are y'all gonna live down there? The hurricanes, why y'all just gonna go back? Because it's like a place unlike anything else, right? When I first came out here to Atlanta, I'm walking down the street, I'm working out, I'm exercising, and people not speaking. I'm walking past people, I'm like, how you doing? Nothing. I just like that energy.
Yeah.
Because we understand in New Orleans that it's hard. Life is hard. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in New Orleans, we really be trying to pour into each other. Hey, baby, how you doing, baby? We just trying to give something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know what your life gonna be like once you leave my presence. So I'm trying to give you a little something, and that's something that I love about New Orleans. Yeah. I take that with me. I take it with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I could dig it. Where'd the name 3D Not T come from?
Nati is a nickname, just like a family nickname. My auntie gave it to me. It was like T.D. Baby, all that type of shit. But the 3D is where I grew up. Okay. Right? So I grew up on Delachey Street. Okay. That's the D. And the 3, I grew up in the 3rd Ward. So I put the 3D in front of my name because I have been, thank the Most High, I've been able to access a certain lifestyle and certain things that a lot of people where I'm from they don't get to see or have not experienced.
Yeah.
So whenever you say, Spitty, when you like, we got 3D not T, I want them to hear. I want them to hear that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 3D them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that's real.
That's why I put that in front of my name, but it's not T.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I put the 3D because I want them who watching me, those at home, those who don't get to come and sit on the porch.
Yeah.
I want them to feel like they hip with your girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Word. No, that's what's
Yeah.
up. That's what's up. At what point did you actually like start like taking music serious and like really, you know what I mean, like really start recording and knowing that this was something that you wanted to do?
Always.
Huh.
Always. It was always. It was always. I never not like it's always been serious for me. I don't feel like, you know, I hear the rap bitches, they can't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always felt like that. I think what it is when I started to write for other artists and all those things and experience certain rooms and all of that shit, I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. I can make a living with this. But I've always taken it seriously before I got $1 from it.
Yeah.
I'm making money from it, but before I always took it seriously because I was like, nobody could fuck with me.
Yeah, word,
Yeah.
word. And KLC gives you like so many props, and
Yeah.
he even like went as far as saying, he was like, you know, in the rap game, like Soulja Slim, you know, that was my son, like 3D not T, like that's my rap daughter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does it feel to, you know, have somebody of KLC's magnitude, you know, like giving you props like that and supporting you the way
That feels amazing. That feels amazing. You know why it feels amazing though? Because a lot of people do that shit in the dark. A lot of people say things about me, but they don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if they attach themselves to me, then they feel like maybe if I say this like in the media, then there's an obligation or, you know what I mean? He, from day one, was like, nah, she is the one, I fuck with her. Like, he exalted me in a way. Someone else who does that is Jada Kiss. Or there's a lot of artists who will say it in a DM
Yeah.
or fuck with me in a, you know, in a text, but they don't say it out loud. You know what I mean? Because then there's like this comparison or then there's this obligation or whatever. So KLC does that shit and he do it out loud, and I love that and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people will do it and like say it with their chest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure, for sure. And
Yeah.
I mean, KLC done produced, you know, for so many legendary artists, and
Yeah.
you know, again, for him to, you know, openly be saying that and giving you those props, like, you know, shit, you know, he ain't just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. How do you feel about, you know, when these different lists come out, you know, talking about, you know,
Fuck
like
them lists.
the hottest female rappers and all that? I've seen you over the years killing these freestyles, like holding your own just across the board in so many different arenas. But then it seemed like when the lists come out, like they don't say your name.
Fuck them lists. The reason why I say that is because these, and like I said, and this is, I don't know, here's your hot take, right? I was out in New York with B-Dot. B-Dot knows me. B-Dot is one of the hottest list creators.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there are certain people, and like I said, going back to your other question, there's certain people who say it with their chest and they know it, and there's certain people who don't say it because if they, you know, if they say it, then there's an obligation to, you know what I mean? So when I look at the list, I don't take offense to it. I understand that everything is media. I understand that everything has some sort of commercialization to it, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, it's like, all right, if I add this, I say this, and I do this, then this can get me this, and this can, put me here, and this is whatever. Ain't no bitch fucking with me. And that's a fact. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't need a list to validate me. I'm validated.
Nah, that's what's up. I mean,
Yeah.
and you validated by having all of these fans that are buying tangible products and that are tapping in with you and all that. So
I sold my last album for $33.33. And I had droves of people who wanted to show me as an appreciation. Like they don't have to buy something physical. They can stream my shit for 0.0003 cent, right? But they wanted to show me something. They wanted to let me know that they appreciate me. So that is all the validation that I need. And it ain't even about the money, but you put it's quantifiable goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it's about for me.
Nah, for sure. Your style of rap, I would say, if someone heard you rap and then said that you were from New Orleans, from your accent, they would know you was from New Orleans.
Really?
But from the barrage of lyrics, you know what I mean? You just wouldn't know that, I don't know. I hate saying it like that too, because I don't like giving a stereotype to okay, here's how somebody from the South is supposed to rap, or here's how. But
you can stereotype me. I'm gonna just curse you out if I don't like it.
But can you just talk about just why lyrics is such an emphasis for you, and you know what I mean? How'd you find your love for just wordplay, and you know what I mean?
Because I love learning, right? So for me, lyricism is important to me because there is a certain amount of time that you got to get something across in this pocket, right? So what is the most clever way that you can do that? This shit is not about this shit is fun to me.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's how many ways can you say this thing? Can you say it in a funny way? Can you say it in a way that's serious? How can you deliver this? Can you change the inflection in your voice? Can you use words that's what different words can you? That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm so glad that there's people who appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still, but that's what it's about for me.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell that you really have an appreciation for the art. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, it's art for me. It's art.
Yeah. I saw that your first time ever flying was when you took a flight to New York
50
to
Cent.
go meet up with G Unit.
Yeah, 50 Cent. That was my first time on a flight. G Unit paid for that flight. And I was I was in New York what the fuck is this? I'm on a plane. I'm scared as shit, but I went to go and do an interview at Shade 45, and that was my first time on a plane.
Word.
I still haven't met 50 though.
Wow.
I still have not met 50
Man,
Cent.
we need to get you in one of these seasons of Power or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Raising Canaan or something. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And again, your life, your career has been about, you taking chances, you know what I mean, just stepping out on faith and, doing these things. And then you connected with DJ K Slay. And he was one of I saw him just supporting you heavily, you know what I mean? What was that relationship like, and what was that like?
Man, K Slay has been a champion of mine. That was a terrible loss. That was a hard loss, you know what I'm saying? Because understanding that there are people who still love hip hop in a certain way, you know what I mean? And he was someone who always spoke highly of me. He's someone that was hard to please too, you know what I mean? So the fact that I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah.
He from New York for real. He was a New York nigga for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he always championed me. I'm on a couple of his albums.
For sure.
He did. I think it's the Guinness Book of World Records because of him or something.
For the amount of
the
features?
longest song.
Yeah, because
So-
he had one song. I know you were on that Rollin' 50 Deep song.
Yes,
and there was
yes,
like
yes,
50 people on
yes,
it. Then it's
yeah. I was the
100
only
song-
female. I was
And
the
I
only
was about to
female
say
on that
too.
song.
Yeah.
And then the second one was 100. I
Yeah.
was one of 3
Yeah.
on that. You know, so he always championed me.
Yeah.
He was an incredible person. Just person.
Yeah.
I was gonna look for like a rap word, but no, just person.
Yeah,
He was an incredible
that's
person.
what's up, and that is also like in the lane of someone who doesn't have to extend their
Yeah,
platform,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
him showing you love, and you being from a whole different region,
Yeah.
and, just all of that,
Yeah.
really dope. And you've been hustling like online and tapping in with your fans, like even since the MySpace days.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I remember you like being on MySpace and getting features like with, what I'm saying, like damn near like offering for fans and different people to,
Yeah.
feature with you and stuff like that. So you've always been like direct to consumer.
Yeah.
That's always been.
That's where the money is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I mean, and you one of the few artists that understand the importance and the relevancy of having a website.
Yeah. Because I do understand that, like, we look at social media as this thing, but they really making money off us. You know what I mean? So when I look at Instagram, TikTok, all of these things, that's like ABC, NBC, all of these other stations. Like nobody watch TV anymore, right? So all of these commercials, like people, we are viable commodities. People come, they should spend money with us, all of these things. Now, if they come in and they spending money with you because they're not gonna buy commercials anymore outside of the Super Bowl, right? But if they come in and they spending money with you, but what if Instagram turn your lights out? I don't know what's gonna happen with TikTok, but like what happens if TikTok goes away? I don't want to rent a space. We are renting space right now on these other platforms, right? So my website is always 3dnit.com.
Yeah.
You always got to go there for me.
Yeah.
You got to go there for me first. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it as I'm in these spaces because they are accessible.
Yep. Yep.
But I have a newsletter that I put out every week. I have data. I know who my fans are. I know, like, I can talk to them. I can, and I think that is something that has sustained me all of these years. You talk about, I know who they are. Like, I just had a girl. I went to Philly. A girl named her kid after me.
That's crazy.
She named her fucking child after me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in these spaces that they can turn my lights out.
Nah, that's
know what
real.
I'm
I mean, it's funny hearing you say this because what you're saying had like always been my marketing pitch to clients over the years, and telling artists how important it is for them to have websites.
Yeah.
Even today, where like I'll say it and people are like, "Oh man, you old school, you want some," and I'm like, "Look, you don't understand that .com is like a parking space. You know what I mean? Like, and everything for you is right there."
I have not had a job. I have not worked for anyone else since 2009. You hear me? I'm good.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Part of it is because of the website. Part of it is because I understand who I am and what I have to offer, and I'm always gonna offer that on my website.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. No, that's dope. Now, I remember like back then, back in the MySpace days, all that, like you were supposed to sign with Timberland.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, but I remember seeing that back then, and I thought you were signed to him or whatever. But then I would see you, and you were still independent. You know what I mean? Weren't you? I think like you were working with Timberland, Missy, like the whole team. What was that experience like though?
It was an incredible experience because I was able to see the other side of the game. And you know how I think earlier I referenced, like, you understand what you want. You know what I mean? Timberland, super creative. Missy gave me some of the best advice that I've ever gotten in my life, which is always like, you know, it sounds cliche, but really in that moment, it was like, stay true to yourself. But I maybe I gotta tell the story so it can make sense, right? So I'm in the studio. I wake up really early. Everybody else, they like to record at night. Because I would go to the studio and record in the daytime, but all the features happen at night. Tim want me to come to the studio at night, whatever. I'm 24 hours, I'm in that bitch, right? So when I went to the studio and I'm recording, people would come in my session at night. That's why I used to like to go and get my songs off in the morning, and then whatever they wanted me to put verses on, write for somebody, I'd do that at night. So I was in the on the tour bus, and Missy came on the tour bus. I was sitting there writing whatever, and Missy came on the tour bus, and she was asking me, how was my experience? And I'm like, man, people, they be coming in my session. I'm not used to that. I record myself in New Orleans. I got my own, you know, so I record myself. And she was like, whatever conditions you need to create, because the listeners, they're not going to know that somebody came and fucked up your session. So you got to make sure you create the space that you need. It doesn't matter. They could call you a bitch. They could call whatever. You need to create that, right? And I had just got there. So I don't want to say, get out my fucking, you know, like, I can't do that. I didn't feel like I had that seniority, you know what I mean? So the next morning, when I was in there trying to get my shit off, I didn't listen. You know, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna go and record my shit in the morning when everybody's sleep and drunk and whatever. I went to the studio, and I'm hearing this drilling, like fucking drilling going on. So I come out the booth, because I was recording myself. I come out the booth, and it was the handyman, and he was putting the lock on the door. And he said, Missy told me to put a lock on here so you can lock the door when you record. So I felt seen.
Yeah.
So if you ask me what my experience was, there was a lot of different experiences. I didn't have certain experience because I didn't sign with them. So there were certain ones that wasn't like something that I would fuck with. There was a lot of things that went on that I wouldn't fuck with.
Yeah.
However, I'm always trying to lean towards the good. And that was a moment where I felt seen from Missy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
When, and moving in these different situations, meeting these different artists, producers, people that, you know, you probably looked up to and things like that, is your mindset to potentially sign with them and, okay, I'm about to be a part of this team?
Yeah,
or is your mindset always independent and moving kind of in
at
the way
that time? Yeah, because I needed a family, man.
Right.
I needed a family.
Yeah.
I think that was why that is probably what turned me off when it comes to the game. Because I was in a space, I told you, like what was going on in my life, you know what I mean? And I went looking for a team, looking for love.
Yeah.
Ain't no love in that shit.
Ain't no love in that shit.
Ain't no love in that shit.
For real.
So because of that, I realized, and it probably turned me away from the industry in that way, but I realized because there isn't love in that, I gotta create that shit. I gotta create my own space.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
that is what independence is about.
Yeah.
I move the way that I want. I want people, like I had a call with this artist this morning who did the Gas or Trash show, and she posted some stuff, and I called her, and we just had a talk. Like I don't have a relationship with her. I don't know her like that. But because I saw she was going through some shit, she lost her mama. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to talk to her.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? What I needed.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, that's real, and that's so important. What you just said kind of makes me think about, you know, when we see these different memes or people talking on Facebook about how nowadays the family functions ain't what they used to be and all of that. But then I've also seen people post, hey, it's up to us.
Yeah,
like
it's
now
us.
we're in that age bracket to set the standard and to make these family functions and these traditions what we want them to be.
Yeah.
So like you said, like, you know, you were looking for a family, but then realized like, I need to create that vibe and create that around yourself. That's a difficult thing to do and even like come to terms with though, especially when you're going through so much trauma and you just looking for love. You know what I'm saying? You looking for just some kind of sign to help you keep going. How did you keep moving in like an upward trajectory? Like how have you not given up? How have you
Because where else do you go? Backwards?
That's real.
Don't ask me how. Where else do you go?
Yeah, that's real.
If you don't go that way towards progression, then you're failing.
That's real.
I don't want to fail.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. In 2011, you should, all right, so you're so self-sufficient, like you produce for yourself, you engineering or recording yourself and all that, but then you were shooting and directing your own music videos. You did that to start your career, and then I also want to talk about the most recent one that you know just shot and directed for yourself. But Switch, can you talk about that? Because like that really, like, I feel like put your name on the map.
Well, that's how I met Timberland.
Word.
Or that is how Timberland discovered me.
Yeah.
So I shot this video where I, like, it's easy to do now because of, you know, like apps and shit, right? But I duplicated myself. I battled myself, 3 of me, right? And I just cropped in or whatever. And Timberland's barber saw it. When he saw the video, because I was rapping on a bunch of Timberland beats, but when Timberland's barber saw it, then he told Tim about it, and that's how they flew me out to Miami and all of that stuff. But I just like making shit, for real. That's why you say you saw me doing DIYs and stuff. I just like making shit. It's not just about music, it's about creating something. I just like creation, you know?
Your Monday morning exercise freestyle series like was going viral, you know, a bunch of times over the years. And I saw you brought it back. You just did one for 2025. Can you talk about like just the impact that's had and
if we talk about the Monday morning exercises, it came out of love, right? But then we can circle back to the website, right? So I started to understand traffic. I started to understand like being in a place at a time when people expect you to be there. So there's like, you know, if you look at TV, you know that a certain show is gonna come on at this time on this date and you're gonna be there, right? So I love to rap. You know what I'm saying? I love to make music. So I'm like, all right, let me hold myself to a certain standard and let me show up and see if they will show up. And I started to do that over the years. And that is how I built the fan base that I built, and people fuck with me. And that's why I was able to sell my music the way that I've been able to sell it. You know what I'm saying? Because I created this expectation that, hey, same time, same place, I'ma be here. And then I would use the intro as like a commercial. So I'm like, hey y'all, we right here, Monday morning exercise. Oh, and my album is dropping, or oh, I got a video that's dropping, or oh, whatever. So I started to use this space as like a commercial space. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I recently revamped the Monday morning exercises because there was a certain part of time when I was like going through a lot of shit and I stopped. I got burnt out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in an amazing place, and I'm back on it.
Word. Nah,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's what's up. And tell us about your show, Gas or Trash.
Gas or Trash?
Because I've been seeing you, traveling all across the country, and again, like with allowing your platform, opening up your platform for other artists. Can you talk about what you're doing with
Yeah,
that?
so like I said, last year, it's officially about to be 6 months.
Okay.
I moved in a van. I sold all my properties, and I got a van because I have an auction license, right? So I bought a van for $5,000. I built this into a tiny home, and I've just been traveling the country. When I was in New Orleans, there was this guy that I ran into, this dude standing, he was hustling, standing outside the store, and all this shit is documented, but he, was going through some shit. And I talked to him, and I asked him if he had all the money in the world, what would he do? And he was like, I'll just put my people on. And I'm like, he had other dudes around him, right? So I gave him the camera, and I could tell, it's on my Instagram page. I gave him the camera. He like, you gonna let me hold this bitch? I could see that people don't trust him.
Right, yeah.
So I gave him something that was valuable, and he immediately turned the camera on his friend. He said, my friend rap. So his friend started rapping on the camera. So I'm like, all right, y'all watching this right now, let me know if this gas or trash. I just said it.
Yeah.
We at a gas station. We actually on Martin Luther King in New Orleans. You know what Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? So we were on Martin Luther King. He put the camera on his friend rapped, and then people started saying, oh, this gas, like this, whatever.
Yeah.
So fast forward, when I ended up selling my properties and moving into the van and like building this tiny home, as I was traveling, I started meeting other artists on a humble in the same way. And I was like, damn, maybe I should continue that.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Wow.
So I have over 2 million followers, right? 2 million, like a fan base across all platforms. And I decided that I wanted to meet people. It's not like meeting artists. These are mothers, fathers, 9-to-5ers. These are people who have talent or not, because this gas or trash. Some of them fucking suck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But because of that, I just wanted to share my platform and have people give them real, because like I said, over the years, I have built and amassed a fan base of music lovers. So I want them to be able to be heard too.
Word.
You know what I mean?
Nah, that's what's up. Nah, that's dope. I mean, that's the same ideology, that Off the Porch was built off of. We wanted to create an interview series where an artist that wasn't known could have their story told next to 3D Natis, next to Warren G's, next to Kevin Gates, next to Rod Waves. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted to be able, because it's so many people who have like these dope stories, that deserve to get heard. And for us, when DGB first started in those early years, it was during the time when like people in New York were gatekeeping, was gatekeeping music. So it was like, for us, we were like, all right, we're gonna be that platform for the Southern artists, the Midwest artists who might not be able to get posted on these bigger platforms. So you say so.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it
makes sense.
Nah,
You're doing the work.
Come on, got to. The most fulfilled people, are the people that's working and helping other people out.
Yeah.
As a female entertainer, how difficult is it to keep the balance between consciousness and sexuality?
Oh, that's a great question. I am not conscious of my sexuality in the way that people may think I am. If I could, I would be naked sitting on this porch right now because I'm a nudist. Like, I would like to be naked. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm sure a lot of fans would love that as well.
Because I do realize people are offended by bodies. People are offended. Like, they literally think, oh, yeah, you should, or because you look like this, then they fuck with you or whatever. I'm not conscious of that, for real. I just wake up and do what I want. You know what I mean?
It's the whack bodies being jealous of the.
I don't even know. It's more men, actually. It's more men that say shit than women, which is weird to me. Which is weird, but it's never been a conscious thing where I'm like, I'm gonna, like, I like the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like to move in a certain way. You know what I mean? When there's a nudist beach in Austin that I love going to and I feel free. You know what I'm saying? But there's certain people who are offended by that. My business, I am not in the business of finding out why you are offended. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you got going on. So there's no consciousness of me saying, I need to do this because if I do it this way, then I don't give a fuck. You gonna take me or not?
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I think the interesting side of it too, though, is that your lyrics aren't as deeply sexually explicit as what, you know, like when men or when media or the masses are, you know, speaking on women and the lyrical content and things like that, your lyrical content doesn't necessarily fall into
so that shows that it ain't me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could rap this same shit with a garbage bag on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that shows that it's really your psyche.
Yeah.
Because if it was about that for me, I'd be talking pussy, 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 dick. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't me. So that's you.
Yeah.
You projecting. You feel a certain way about what it, you know, you feel a certain way about how I appear to you. I would make it easier for you if I said these things, then you can write me off, but you can't, you confused, and that's why you mad at me.
I mean, and that's what it is, because like us men, we wish we could put women in, you know, a certain box, or you know what I mean? But then like you look at like a woman like Erykah Badu, where she crosses that line, you know what I mean?
True.
And you know, I feel like people more recognize, or no, I feel like people originally recognize her for the consciousness.
Yes.
So then now when she brings the sexuality in it, it's like, you know what I mean? It's a shock, but it's like, you know, I mean, but everybody we all have that balance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we can be conscious and third eye could be open, but I mean, shit, you get horny, like you get, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so.
He was like, well,
I'm just saying, shit. It don't matter who we are, you know what I mean? Like we all got like them temptations. We all got, you know what I mean? Just those.
I don't even think about that for real.
Yeah.
Like I am, and I show up how I show up. I do what I want. I am making sure that I create a life where I can do what I want, and it's not just about like, you know, financially. It's not just about like career-wise. It's literal. Like, have you ever been around an older person and they just say whatever the fuck they want because they know they, you know, maybe they know they're gonna die soon or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to wait until I'm fucking 92 years old to be able to say what I want and do what I want and all of that. No, I want to create that life right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you mad at me because of how I appear, if you mad at me because of what I said, doesn't fucking matter. This is the life that I wanted to create. Yeah. So get over it.
Yeah. Nah, that's real. I mean, shit. If we spend our lives trying to make other people happy and trying to appease other people,
then we spent.
Exactly. Exactly.
Then we're spent.
Right. Uptown Butterfly.
Yeah.
The film, the soundtrack. You know, when I first heard the music, and it you could see like, you know, what you were talking about. So then to accompany that with a film, I thought was really dope.
Thank you.
How did you get the courage to film, you know, your first movie yourself?
Because I'm courageous. No, I honestly, I was walking down the Beltline, and I thought about doing, I was listening to the music that I had for the album, and I was like, these songs are flowing together well. I should do a stage play. I was like, I don't know if a rapper has ever done like a real stage play and turned it into, outside of Hamilton, but that doesn't count.
Right.
But I'm like, I should do a stage play, right? So then I started, my mind is like kicking into full gear, and I'm like, how can I get a stage play together in a short amount of time? And then if I do a stage play, you know, the actors got to be on point, like it's one take Jake, you know what I'm saying? So at that point, I started going with the idea, and I started writing like what a play would look like. That's why in the movie or in the film, I'm in one outfit the whole time, because it was supposed to be a play.
When you say that, it makes it just changed even my perspective on a lot of things that I saw with it. Because as soon as you just said that, like it. When you said stage play, it made me think of Fences, or you know what I mean, and thinking of like, okay, you got like one or two locations, and everything is sort of happening like within the
So I was here in Atlanta when I thought of the idea, and then as I started to be real with myself, because that's something I do all the time, I'm like, all right, be realistic, you know. And when I was real with myself, I'm like, okay, if I have these people that I want to be in it, and you know, I have to make this like a film. You know what I mean? So that's when I got all the actors. A lot of the actors are from New Orleans, you know, and I got Rich Productions, Rich and Spirit Productions to film it. And I had the script already, and because of the album, it's a musical. It's not a film. It's really a musical. You know what I mean? And it came out incredible. Over 200, well, close to $250,000, not close to, over $250,000 in sales and views and all of that shit.
So, that's what's up. That's what's up. Really dope vibe. And I mean, you really took it there. Like it, I mean, you painted pictures. You got really personal. You know, within it. I mean, just talking about subjects of, you know, showing like, you know, when you try to step away and do better for yourself, and then how your people, you know, actually view you. You know what I mean, when you do come around, you know, and things like that. How important was it for you to like be so personal, you know, on this project?
That's the only way I know. You know, like I said, music always was like this, like me in my diary. You know what I mean? So I, God honest truth, I wish that I could be one of those artists who smoke weed and just get in a boot, or get fucked up and get in a boot. I would be more prolific. I would create a lot more if I was able to do that, but I need life's experiences, because that's what I write about. You know what I mean? I need to view shit. I need to experience things. I need to feel emotions. I need to fall in love, out of love. I need to, you know, hate somebody. I need all of the gambit of emotions in order for me to do that. And that's why that album to me is like so beautiful, because before that I had took a like a long time before I got to that project.
Because there was a big gap,
close
about 5
like
years.
a 5 years.
I saw that. I was going to ask you about
that.
And what made you take that break? But you were still releasing singles and things like that during that time. But what made you not?
When I wanted to.
Gotcha.
When I wanted to. The break didn't happen. Like I told you, I just told you there were certain things that was going on in my life. Like my grandmother passed. I went through a breakup. I bought some houses, and I was doing DIY. I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then when I wanted to make music, then I made music, and it was beautiful music. It was music that encompassed all of my experiences.
Can you talk about your new song, Groovy?
Oh, yeah.
And how you, again, like got innovative with that visual, and, you know, shot that yourself, and you even showed the process of that. You say you shot that video for less than $500? I think that's what it said on the vlog.
what the fuck did I spend on that? Honestly, I don't even, I mean, I spent money on clothes.
Right, that's what, yeah.
Yeah, but I direct my own videos and stuff like that, and I shot it at the studio uptown, Diesel Studio. Diesel produced Lollipop and a lot of other songs for Lil Wayne. And he's like super prolific, Grammy Award winning, and he wanted me to come to the studio to do a song. And when I saw the studio, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the feature.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the feature, but I got some shit that I need to film in there. You know what I'm saying? So for that, because the track was just like an ode to, like, it was just a groovy ass track. It was just like some feel good type music. I was like, damn, what would this look like if I got a band? And I was going to hire a band to play. And like I do with most shit, I'm like, okay, well, this might change. I'll just be the band.
Yeah.
You know, so I got a beard off of Amazon, you know what I'm saying? I had my hair cut super low, and I had a hat on, and I changed different wigs and outfits or whatever, and the video came out amazing.
Yeah, like you went all in, like we're really like 4 or 5 different characters.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it true that you made over $100,000 on OnlyFans?
It is.
Selling real estate and business advice?
Yes, it is. Yes. I never got naked. I never showed my pussy. I never talked about sex. None of that.
Yeah.
I was giving advice. I was talking about, I just told you, I said I brought my van because I got an auction license. I was telling people how they can get their car auction license. I was telling people how they can buy houses and do DIYs and all of that. And yes, I made over $100,000.
That's crazy. I mean, like I hear about people like, you know, selling pictures of their feet on there and like all that, but you know, I mean, but I know that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I will say this too. Another reason why is because OnlyFans was not created to sell pussy.
Right.
So when I was doing what I was doing on a humble, like I always do, OnlyFans saw what I was doing, and of course they can see like she is using this for what we intended, you know. So they started to they posted me on their page. I got on a bunch of different like platforms and stuff. I did a lot of interviews, and people was like astonished that this black girl, you know what I'm saying, not selling her pussy on OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of promotion. I do not have a manager. I don't have like press or PR, none of that. But people genuinely gravitated towards what I was doing, and that helped me make money.
Word. And living this nomad lifestyle that you've been living, you know, you've had to, you know, live off the land per se, and also, you know, trust in people and just deal with people, you know what I mean, amongst your journeys.
Yeah.
How has that been? You know, like, you know, have you come across like any weirdos, or have you? You know
I see weirdos every day.
True that. Say you ain't got to be in the van doing this.
Yeah, I see weirdos every day, to be honest. But I think I just show up with love, and people take care of me for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a vlog that I dropped, I think like a month ago. I went to. I was going up the East Coast. I am I'm on the junior board association for the Hip Hop Museum. Okay. It's a $65 million project out in the Bronx. So this is like, they are documenting the history of hip hop. I think I'm the only one from the South. I'm the youngest, I'm the only female from the South, but there's other people on the board. There are contributors like Nas, there are contributors, Yo-Yo, Papoose, other people who are on the board and who's making this thing possible. I'm the only independent artist on the board for sure too. And as I was making my way up north and I was documenting everything, I got a message from someone in Baltimore, and he was like, hey, I have a Airbnb, so if you happen to stop in Baltimore, you can stay at my Airbnb. Whatever, nigga, I'm not staying at your fucking Airbnb. Like, you probably got cameras in it, whatever, you know, whatever.
Right.
And when I ended up, because Baltimore was a stop, so for the Gas or Trash show. So when I got to Baltimore, I got a message from my little brother telling me that my cousin got murdered while I was on the road. Yeah. I didn't want to be in the fucking van at night in Baltimore thinking about my cousin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to the Airbnb. Such an amazing time. I didn't meet him that night, the guy who owned it, but you know, he gave me the codes and all of that. I ended up going there. And the next day I met him. We went out to eat. Amazing individual. Yeah. Not on some creep shit at all. Like it was an amazing time. And I feel like, you know, I don't know if it'll always go like that, but I think because of my energy, you know what I mean? Maybe that's what I get back in return. Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Yeah. But he really took care of me. Yeah. He really took care of me. He told me whenever I ever want to come back, like all of that, he took care of me. Like I saw Baltimore and I was mourning my cousin at the time, but I was able to see like love. Yeah. You know what I mean? Word. And I needed that.
Nah, that's what's up. Nah, and I know it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust. So I saw that vlog was featured on Worldstar. Worldstar was trying to joke and say that like you move with somebody in Baltimore or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the pros and some of the cons to this new lifestyle of living in your tiny house on the road?
The pro is I'm outside. I'm outside for real. Like, you know, I wake up with the sun. I wake up early anyway, but like the pro for real is I get to see the world. People can't see inside my van, so I'm seeing like the way people moving for real, and I love that. Yeah. I can look outside and I see people just moving in the way that they don't know that I'm in the van. So that is enjoyable. I like that. The cons. Oh, another pro. I don't have bills for real. I don't really have bills like that. Like my bill is my gas, you know, or wherever I'm going to eat or whatever. You know what I mean? But the cons. The cons are that people kind of think I'm crazy. They like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. But I ain't really tripping off that. Word. Yeah, that's it.
No, I can dig it. What's one of the biggest life lessons that you've learned? Let me simplify this actually, because that's a broad question. What's one of the biggest life lessons that you've learned since changing your lifestyle and now living this more minimalist lifestyle and providing all these opportunities?
It's the same. It would be the same answer. The same answer would be to listen to my inner voice. It would be to listen to my inner voice. You know, that thing that has been with us since the beginning. Over the years, other people's voices and opinions of us get louder and louder and louder, and we stop hearing ourselves. We stop hearing who we are, who we intended to be, the dreams that we had for ourselves. Since I am spending more time alone, I hear her again. I hear her. She the only one that really loved me like I need to be loved for real. She remember everything that I don't remember. She fuck with me. I'm loving on her. Yeah. That's it.
Wow. Do you remember at what point you discovered the butterfly that you had become?
Probably when I sold my houses, you know, when I sold my houses in New Orleans and I came to Atlanta and I just was another person here. You know, in New Orleans, there's a certain type of, you know, they know who I am and you know what I'm saying? I'm just another transient out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just came out here. So when I came here, I only had, you know, who I wanted to be. And that was the only focus. So I had to discover her because, you know, I wasn't at home. I wasn't pulling up at the gas station and somebody saying, "What's up, my team, man?" You know, all of that shit. Yeah. So I had to like reinvent.
I can dig that. And what else are you working on right now? What you got coming up that you're excited about that you can speak on?
I'm excited about every fucking thing, to be honest. I'm working on new music right now. Everything I'm posting, like I told you, I'm doing the Monday morning exercises again, but everything that I have been working on, I'm posting on my website.
Yeah.
So I'm going to follow up the film with more film. So everything is on 3dnazi.com.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And you got any shout outs that you want to give before we get out of here?
Shout out to y'all for watching this. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody who could feel me coming through the screen. Shout out to y'all.
Word.
That's it.
That's what's up. Well, appreciate you pulling up, jumping off the porch with us.
Thank you. Thank you for
I do not owe explanations. We happy you witnessing greatness. Cram.
Right now, I don't know another actor